What does love mean to you?
Love is real, and love is God, and God is love.
Growing up, Mike Gordon didn't know what love meant to him, or if it even existed.
I honestly can remember, like it was yesterday, being told my parents were broken up. I remember sitting at the table, I remember my mom sitting here, my sisters and my dad, and that's when my mom, broke the news saying, I told your father I want a divorce. And I remember I was just crying and almost in shock, because you see maybe on TV or you hear about parents getting divorced, but you don't think that's gonna happen to your family. On the inside, all of a sudden, obviously I was upset. Obviously, I lost hope. I had this emptiness in me. I almost feel like I went in autopilot for a while.
Mike was still struggling to cope with his parents' divorce when things suddenly went from bad to worse. That's when his mom's new boyfriend moved in, and life at home became toxic.
Literally like 2 or 3 weeks before grade 9, I got in an argument with my mom's boyfriend, and that night, I remember it was raining, summer night, and that night she kicks me out of the house. So the next day, the police had to escort me back into the house, gave me a garbage bag, and they literally said, you got 5 minutes to get your stuff.
Mike's only option was to move in with his dad, but since the divorce, his life had spiraled out of control.
He really hit the bottle hard, and he'd admitted over the years being an alcoholic and whatnot, and where he's physically and verbally abusive, and the police had to get involved, and that was kind of a moment in grade 11 where it was like, okay, I'm on my own. Because my understanding growing up is your parents should love you. My understanding is your mom's not gonna choose a boyfriend over you. My understanding is your dad's not gonna choose alcohol over you. So when you see two figures of your mom and dad and their love fail towards me, in a sense, I'm not sure if I really even knew love was a real thing.
Lost, hurt, and alone. A dangerous recipe for a young teen still searching for his identity. Mike was desperate for acceptance.
I started getting mixed up with the wrong people. I lost care of consequences, and I would do whatever it was, whatever seemed right in the moment. So if it was, with the drinking or the drugs or crime or whatever it was okay, because I felt like I had nothing to lose, in a sense, in life. So I would look whatever direction I had to go to and could go to, and almost tried anything I could to maybe fill that void.
Mike left high school with no direction and no hope for a future. But hope found Mike.
One of my friends who started coming to this church said, Mike, come with me one week and we'll play basketball, and no strings attached. So I gave it a shot, went in there, started playing basketball, and would come on a weekly basis. And around that time, the youth pastor, he started sharing, showing some interest in my life. At first, I was kind of weirded out, just to be truthful. I'm like, but I started trusting him, started building up a good relationship with the youth pastor, and then he invited me to church. And I trusted this guy enough to say, let's give it a shot.
Mike dove into church life head first, but funny enough, he still didn't believe any of it.
I started going to the youth group, I started going to the small groups, and through those encounters and those meetings and those small groups, I would sit there and just listen to people talking about God, and start talking about this Bible, and start talking about Jesus. And at the end of small group, was one Sunday night, the youth pastor says, in November, guys, I'm planning a mission trip down to Mexico for March. I remember going up to him after the small group, and I told him, I'm not really into this stuff, but is it okay if I come?
Mike didn't know what a missions trip was, wasn't sure why he was going, and he even got high with friends the night before the flight. But nothing could prepare him for the conditions he saw and the message he heard one night in a little chapel in Mexico.
The pastor, he gave a gospel message, and he gave a complete gospel message, where this love that he explained from Jesus is this love for eternity, this love that doesn't change, this agape love. That God, loves me. And they gave the altar call. Everything in me knew, Mike, you got to do this. Nothing in a billion years would ever have gotten me to stand up in front of everybody and come to the front. So I sat there, trying not to make eye contact with anybody. And, and I honestly remembered a prayer, and I said to God, I tried doing life my way, and this is where it led to. It led to destruction. And I said, I want to do life your way.
Everything that Mike had lost in his life had been returned. The dark cloud had lifted and was replaced with a radiant glow.
I was happy again. I was smiling again. There was hope again, and there was reason to smile, reason to laugh, reason to love. And so my heart on the inside, everything has changed, and I honestly became a new creation. Jesus is the answer, and I'm trying to play my little part in trying to share that with people and train people how to share that with others.
Mike Gordon was set free by the truth, set free by love.
Love is real, and love is God, and God is love.